NBL season starts in a couple of weeks' time. It'll be the Breakers and the Phoenix that'll do battle head-to-head. They'll do it again the following week. So why not get a little entree ahead of the main meal as we welcome you to the NBL Blitz. It's day 7 at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. New Zealand taking on South East Melbourne. Jack Heverin joined in commentary by Liam Santamaria for two pretty much full-strength lineups, Liam.
Should be a good one, Jack. Yeah, good to be back with you, and should be a good night ahead of us. Melbourne and Illawarra in the second leg of tonight's doubleheader, but we feel like we're starting to see some good games. You know, we saw Illawarra and South East Melbourne battle it out in a high-quality contest a few nights back. We've seen some really good games in the last few nights, and I expect these two tonight to be somewhat similar. For
the Phoenix, three very, very big inclusions. Dane Pineau, we'll see. He's completed his protocols. Cam Glidden coming back into the team as well for his first game of the Blitz. And Mitch Creek didn't play the last game, and he comes back in for them.
Yeah, almost full strength. They don't have their new import, Devon Thomas, out there tonight, but he's arriving in the country, and they're just mixing up their lineup a little bit. Xavier Mumford off the bench today just to get a look at some different rotation.
And for the Breakers, they'll only be without Tom Abercrombie, who after their last game at the Blitz in their loss to Sydney, it was announced that Tom Abercrombie will miss 6 weeks with a side strain. So Melbourne and Illawarra to come a little later. We start this one off with the Phoenix and the Breakers. Isaiah Liafa, who started game 1, came off the bench in game 2. Hasn't had the start to the NBL Blitz that he probably would have liked.
No, he's 0 of 6 from the field so far across their first couple of games, but he does have the 10 assists, and just needs to get that first bucket of the preseason and get himself going.
Brokoff has had a really good Blitz so far. Had his legs taken out by Will McDowell-White. Gets some early free throws.
He's looking good, feeling good, Ryan Brokoff. He's one of the buzz guys of the preseason so far, isn't he? Everyone had their eyes on Brokoff coming into the Blitz to say, well, what's he going to be like? Pulled out of the Olympic campaign, wanted to get himself right physically, mentally, and there's a real spring in his step. And speaking to some people around Southeast Melbourne Phoenix training recently, saying really vocal. So he's up and about, feeling good about his play, and as a result, having a big impact on the group in a number of different ways.
12 points, 10 rebounds in the first game, 15 and 5 in game 2 for Ryan Brokoff. He starts well in this one. McDowell-White at the top of the key. And Wetzel has a good seal on Adnam. They found him, and he took care of the rest.
That'll feel good for Yanni Wetzel up against his former team, and just spinning on Adnam and finishing strong at the rim.
Nothing that Joe Chi could do to stop that. Brokoff back out to Adnam. Shot clock at 3. Gets down low and lays it up with the left hand. Nice move by the Phoenix skipper.
Well, he's in great form, Kyle Adnam. Tore it up in their last game, 16 and 12 in that overtime loss to Illawarra.
Just mentioned too that he's recently been announced as captain for this upcoming season, which is a real feather in his cap. He's a Kilsyth boy originally. To lead this team in the heartland would mean the world to him. It's last touch by the Breakers.
And Jack, you mentioned the Breakers, only Tom Abercrombie out. I'm getting some late word that Jeremiah Martin's going to sit this one out as well. You can see him on the bench there. The Impact import off the bench in his tracksuit. He's got a bit of hamstring tightness. He's going to sit this one out. But Principal Singh, the Indian DP, is suited up, may get some minutes.
Well, we saw him sitting on the bench last game, Singh. Be good to have a look at him tonight. It's a shame that we won't be seeing Jeremiah Martin, though. He's been fantastic so far. Nice take from Wetzel. He's proving a handful early on.
That was a beautiful pass from Finn Delaney. High-low. Those two guys, the Kiwi connection in the front court, building their chemistry. And he put that right in the perfect spot for Wetzel to finish at the rim.
Brokoff was cutting to the basket. His pass was chopped off though by Wetzel. Might have seen the Phoenix playbook once or twice. Hugo Besson with his left hand. This has been a really fast start to the Breakers after they were absolutely slow as a wet week to get going last game.
Well executed transition play. Perfect timing from Yanni Wetzel on the ball screen for Besson, who snaked his way to the cup.
Nice hands by Besson there too. Knock it out of play.
It's a fun name to say, Besson.
I like it.
I noticed you put a little extra.
Only because you did in the first game. I was watching at home and I thought, well, if Liam's gone with Besson, then that's what I'm going with. Adnam wide open for three. Got it. 6 apiece. Early stages at MSAC. Chi reels it in, but Adnam and Creek looked at each other and no one actually took the ball in the end.
Well, they're all just having a look at each other, trying to work out what went wrong as the ball sailed out of bounds.
Joe Chi's kind of thinking, well, it wasn't me, was it? So almost a free possession here for New Zealand. What a matchup that is. Delaney and Brokoff going head to head. And Delaney got the better of the duel until the official got involved.
And he got called for the offensive foul, Delaney. Got the chicken wing out with the left arm as he made his way past Brokoff into the middle. But I like that from Finn Delaney, not the offensive foul, but he has that confidence now where he feels like he can overpower it. Guys, there's a switch. He rolls himself into the block and he says, clear me some space. I'm going to go to work.
Here's Mitch Creek. Couldn't finish. Chi gets it to roll home. His first points in the game. He's going from strength to strength with his new team, Joe Chi. Shot clock down to single figures here for McDowell White, who had a hand in the face of Chi, but that didn't matter. Will McDowell White with a splash.
That's tough. Pretty well defended by Joe Chi. Tough spot for him to be in. And McDowell White able to knock it down over that outstretched hand.
They've been able to create some great opportunities for themselves, New Zealand, based off their work at the defensive end of the floor. Chi forced Wetzel to dump it back out, but Yanni rolls to the cup. And Besson. The Phoenix did pretty well to jam up the paint and change a couple of the Breakers' shots. Brokoff, catch and shoot three. It rattles out.
I think that's going to be a key difference for the Phoenix this year that they haven't had before, is a strong back line to their defense. Joe Chi at the back there, and Creek there unable to stop Yanni Wetzel. And that, what we just saw, that possession has been what it's been like for the Phoenix. Have had really no rim protection over their first couple of years in the league, but Chi brings that, and it's going to have a big impact for them defensively.
Adnam fires away. That's missing everything. Tried to follow it up and gave away a foul.
You talked about Joe Chi and him going from strength to strength as he checks out. Timeout called. Oh no, rotation, so Chi's going to come out. I'm pretty certain this is going to be his final preseason hit out.
Yeah, okay.
Joe Chi. He's going to head back to represent China in the upcoming FIBA window.
Right, okay.
So national team duties call for him in advance of coming back right on the eve of the start of the regular season.
I was going to say, I think the window closes 2 days or 3 days before the season starts. Is that right? Yeah. He's been good. 10-8 in game 1, 17-12 in game 2. Liam, for Phoenix fans watching on tonight on KO Freebies, let's talk a little bit about Devon Thomas, announced in the last couple of days as the Phoenix final import signing for the season. Went to college at Wake Forest, averaged a double-double in his senior year, has played in a number of different countries since turning pro. Tell us a little more.
Yeah, good signing. I mean, I think that's what they needed. They needed that one extra body in their front court for mine. And so they've been looking at a whole bunch of guys in that, 4 or 5 positions, 6'8", 6'9", with some wingspan. And he ticks a lot of boxes for him. A former Wake Forest guy, has had plenty of European experience, 27 years of age, left-handed kind of bouncy guy that can play backup minutes behind Mitch Creek, but who knows, if Joe Chi or Dane Pinot, if one of those guys are out for any particular reason, can slide up and play minutes at the 5 as well. So I like it. He in the VT, he was playing for an Estonian team in Russia last year in the VTB, averaged around 8 and 7. Hard to put up big scoring numbers as a role player like him, but showed what he could do on the glass. And he also averaged 2.7 assists in amongst that, which I think is going to work well within this Phoenix offense. They like those bigs to be able to be playmakers in different ways. So I think it's a savvy pickup. We'll see what he looks like when he lands and gets involved and tries to transition into the NBL game.
Delaney couldn't get past Mitch Creek. He blocked the shot. McDowell White's got 2 to get it away. That's his second from that spot.
That's big for Will McDowell White. Shot sub 30% from 3 in his stint with the Breakers last season. 2 for 2 early in this one, and that'll fill him with confidence.
As Munford in his first play steps out of bounds. Breakers have got themselves out to a 6-point lead. Wetzel has 6 points, as does Will McDowell White. They're the leading scorers in the game so far. Besson has been busy. Chi did enough to change the shot. It's knocked out of bounds.
And he did it without fouling too, which has been a nice adjustment from Joe Chi. After his first game, he got into some foul trouble, limited minutes, and we've seen it takes the bigs coming from overseas a while often to make the adjustment to the NBL officiating and stay out of foul trouble, and it looks like he's done a good job of that over his first couple of games since that one.
Adam Short, Creek slaps it back for Ruben Tarangi, who's into the game. Fantastic in their last game against Illawarra. Finished with 18 points on 3 or 4 from outside. And that's great to see as well. There's Dane Pinot. 1 game last NBL season. Started off with a back issue, came back in and very quickly picked up a knee injury. Go back 2 seasons ago, though. Runner-up to Will Magnay, the most improved player.
Had a big year. And as you say, just has hardly been on the floor. And then just when he thought he was going to get out for some preseason action, he had to stay inside with the COVID protocol. So he'll be feeling good, up and about, and back out on the floor, making a nuisance of himself on the offensive glass.
A rebounding machine is Dane Pinot. No foul call. Dieng thought perhaps there could have been, but it doesn't matter. Plays through that. The French next start. Munford all the way in, a little too easy. Perhaps Dan Shamir won't be happy with that. Xavier Munford's first points of the afternoon. 16-12, Breakers way. Hugo Besson has looked really aggressive in this first quarter.
Well, back-to-back buckets for the Breakers from their NBA draft prospects. The French connection ticking the scoreboard over.
Now they run the floor. And an easy layup for Ousmane Dieng. They look good when they play with pace, this new New Zealand team. He's showing that. Creek into the lane, banks it home for a couple. Slows things down for the Phoenix. Coming up to 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. Galloway on the floor. Short on his first attempt, Kyron Galloway. There'll be a travel on Mitch Creek.
He thought he was getting a whistle with the hands on, and he was drawing a foul. Mitch Creek, they call the travel, the turnover results. And the Phoenix just a couple of possessions here, stop and the score, just been able to steady the ship as the Breakers threatened to open this up a little.
We saw the Illawarra Hawks or some of the squad sitting behind the bench and watching. They'll play Melbourne at 7:30 p.m. on KO Freebies. All part of our wall-to-wall coverage of the NBL Blitz. Dieng baseline, Pinot got a piece of it.
Oh,
and a piece of the arm too.
Well, yeah, Chris Reed had the view, the referee close to your camera, and he called the foul on Dane Pinot. Looked clean to me, but there's a Pep in Ousmane Dieng step tonight. He's putting it on the deck, getting into the lane. 6'10" in shoes, this young man.
Wow.
18 years of age. Doesn't turn 19 until sort of midway through next year. And look at the physical profile of him. Look how long he is. And you combine that with his skill set, his ability to handle it, make plays facing the basket, shoot it from the perimeter. That's why the NBA scouts are taking a good long look at him over the course of this season. And
ranked highly. I saw him one ESPN mock draft. He was around number 11 or number 12. So he's a name to watch for the future. Besson gets things moving. That will be an offensive foul though. Liafa found a good position.
It was a good read from Liafa. Just saw Hugo Besson attacking in transition and just sensed he was maybe a little bit out of control. Held his position, took the contact and won the ball back for the Phoenix.
Peyton Seaver subbed in. Liafa walks past him, did everything but finish, got it back again. He was never going to miss twice. Jose Liafa opening his account. Besson kicks it to Dieng. Liafa snatched it away from low and then found Tarangi in transition. Spot on that pass.
Great kick ahead pass from Liafa, and Ruben Tarangi making the most of the gather step as he finished ahead of the pack.
Seaver with a couple of seconds to go. Nice pass underneath for Rob Lowe. And the Breakers finished the quarter on a winning note. They were 14-0 down after about 7 minutes in their first quarter a few days ago against Sydney. Much better and much more proactive start from them today. 24-18 they lead after one.
Really good start. And you mentioned the pace that they were playing at times in that quarter, Jack. It's not often you see Dan Shamir teams pushing the ball and playing at a high pace. He usually likes things to be a little bit more controlled, a bit more of that European style. But with these young greyhounds like Besson and Dieng and guys like Finn Delaney, a big like Yanni Wetzel who can run the floor, you're right. This is a team who needs to push the tempo at times and take advantage of those traits. And they've done a good job of striking that balance in this opening term.
Leading scorers from the first quarter from the Breakers, 6 points for Dieng, McDowell White and Wetzel. 4 points for Hugo Besson. For the Phoenix, Kyle Adnam has 5. 4 for Mitch Creek, and then spread around after that as well. There's some of the leading scorers in the game, as you can see on your screen right now. It is, to go back to your point, it is a really, really different tempo that New Zealand are playing at. Last year they were, in essence, walking the ball up the floor, weren't they?
Yeah, and it was interesting. I asked Dan Shamir about that mid-season because he had a guy in Ty Webster who was at his best when he pushed the rock and tried to make plays early in the shot clock. And you combine that with, he had a bunch of guys, that Webster backcourt and Tom Abercrombie and Tim Abercrombie, my goodness, Finn Delaney.
That might be his brother.
These guys who, in the Tall Blacks jersey, have been really successful playing a really fast pace. And he said, look, it's just not really in my DNA. I like to have things under a little bit more control, but it's the evolution of him, the evolution of this team to say, all right, well, let's try to explore that a little bit more, and you have to adapt to your personnel. And clearly, Dan Shamir looking to do a little bit more of that heading into this season with the guys that he's got on deck.
And I think based on what we've seen from a couple of other teams, Liam, Sydney is the first that come to mind. There are others who are going to play exactly that sort of tempo.
Well, Sydney is breakneck. I mean, that is high-octane basketball. And you're right, we've seen some of that from Tasmania.
Yep.
Early doors. We know the Phoenix like to get up and about and put points on the board, so it's going to be fun to watch.
Rasmus Bark starting the second quarter. We've barely seen him in the Blitz so far. 16 seconds in game one. Only 2 minutes in game two. Nice defensive pressure from Peyton Seaver.
I like the quote from Finn Delaney after their last game about Peyton Seaver, talking about he's a total pro, and people got a little worried about his 0 for 8 in a minus 25 performance in their opening preseason game, but he went in a bat for his new import PG, saying that we knew everything was fine. Yep. Came back, had a really good game, 18 points, and trying to build on that tonight.
Sydney just had no answer for him a couple of days ago. 5 of 9 from outside. Late in the clock. Uses low with his left hand. That's a nice finish.
Okay. A rolling lefty hook from the veteran in the middle of the lane.
I've seen a lot of that from Rob Lowe in the last couple of years. Bark skips ahead for Dieng. He'll fancy his chances. He put the shoulder down and went straight through the middle of Ruben Tauranga.
And that's a good example of kind of everything we're talking about, right? Bark looks to kick it ahead. Dieng trying to make a play early in the shot clock, and Dan Shamir's heart rate rising. They're the kind of possessions he, with his experience and all that time he's spent in Europe, he thinks, well, if we just hold that thing and work for a better shot, we might be able to get something better. So it's very much a work in progress for him and his group.
Dieng with numbers against the Breakers. Now back up top to the Frenchman. Pulls up from the elbow, that's deep. Xavier Munford has options on the wings, although Tauranga wants to get in a little lower than that. It's out of bounds, last touch by the Breakers.
There's a good attack from Tauranga. Needs to play aggressively. And the Phoenix brought him in at the start of last season after that rough year he had in Brisbane where he fell out of the rotation. His admin can't hit and Munford puts it back. And they wanted him to bring the game that he brings when he's wearing the Tall Blacks jersey, where he's aggressive and he's a kind of a point forward, putting it on the deck, getting to the rim. Galloway misses from the corner, and we saw that in their last game, didn't we, with Mitch Creek not on the floor. But that's the message from Simon Mitchell and the Phoenix coaching staff to Tauranga. Be aggressive, try to make plays, get to the free throw line like you did just there.
Fouls on Rob Lowe. Both teams rolling through their rotations, and Cam Glidden's going to come into the game for the first time in the NBL Blitz by the looks of things. Tristan Forsyth subbing in as well for the Phoenix. In fact, Glidden just going to hold off for now, perhaps.
Did he get a little ahead of himself? Did he?
He stood up and he went to the sideline. Normally 2 and 2 equals 4, Liam.
Coach Mitchell said, not just yet, mate.
There he is, sitting down again. Maybe Creek and Brokoff back in instead. Phoenix from the baseline. Munford got to a nice spot and knocks it down.
Well, Peyton Seaver just completely lost his footing there, slid along the hardwood, and Munford got that space that he needs, and he's deadly in the mid-range.
Delaney misses. Munford with the uncontested rebound. Creek found Adnam. Not that time though. 26-22 at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. It's a little messy from New Zealand, and they give it up.
Brokoff's coming up limping. He was involved in that exchange with Delaney down low. Looks like he's just going to try and run it off.
Munford gets inside and had his shot blocked.
Well, I think they're going to count that bucket.
Yeah.
Dieng got his hands on it after it had already hit the backboard, so goaltending called, and Xavier Munford just he's in his comfort zone right now offensively. Pull-ups in mid-range, all the way to the cup right there, making plays off the bounce.
8 points for the New Jersey natives. Seaver, top of the key, money.
And that's where Munford needs to tighten things up a little bit. He just got a little confused there in the exchange involving Adnam. Nobody guarded Seaver on the arc.
Not to be outdone though, Munford attracts the crowd and finds Forsyth. It's been a fun little matchup this last couple of minutes, Seaver and Munford. Big rebound, Rasmus Bark. Seaver, short. Creek with 4 points. Leading scorer for the Phoenix is Munford with 8. Adnam off the glass. Fills it up with 2 more of his own. He's got 7 points. And the Phoenix have had a good quarter so far. They've cut it back to a 3-point deficit.
Dan Shamir calls for time, wants to have a little bit of a chat about their defense. This guy's been able to, Xavier Munford just got right to the sweet spot there for him. Elbow pull up. And that's where they got a little lost defensively, the Phoenix. Seaver made him pay, but Munford making plays off the dribble. Adnam to the rim, Munford to the rim. Dan Shamir feels like his defense breaking down way too often right now.
The lead was 6 at quarter time for the Breakers. They've been outscored this quarter 8-5. Mentioned the leading scorers for the Phoenix. For the Breakers, still 6 points for Wetzel, McDowell, White and Deng. How big a presence is Yanni Wetzel, Liam? We're seeing when he's off the floor that some opportunities, and this is with no disrespect to Rob Lowe, of course, but some other opportunities seem to open up for the Phoenix when Wetzel's not out there for New Zealand.
No, he's hugely important. He's their main guy in the middle. Rob Lowe, he's had a bit of an interrupted, last year and a half or so. We know he went back early home last season, was away from the team, came back to the team. I'm not sure he's in as good a nick right now as he was coming into the start of last season. Yanni Wetzel, of course, going to play a massive load of minutes for them at the 5, and they certainly look much better when he's out there on the floor.
Dieng takes it at Tristan Forsyth. He's so athletic.
His length just enables him to finish over the top of the defense at the rim, doesn't it? He's looked really good, and he's been able to snake his way in there.
Now Cam Glidden's into the game. Good to see him, although that pass, not his best effort. Isaac Davidson getting some minutes before halftime, came up with the steal. Delaney spots up, deep on his 3-ball. Broke off. Not that time. Delaney trying to get ahead. Creek reaching in. Caught with his hand in the cookie jar.
That's a fun matchup. Mitch Creek and Finn Delaney. It's almost like the mentor and the protege.
Yeah.
These two, they come from the same agency, both represented by Mogul Sports. And Delaney, of course, has watched Creek over the years, and there's a lot of their game that's very similar.
Yep.
Finn Diesel's trying to bring what Creek has done in the NBL for so many years, where you rip it off the defensive glass, attack down the middle, be a steam train towards the rim. And tonight, they're going head to head.
Sicho Chi sub back in for Southeast Melbourne. As Creek takes position on the low block, guarded by Davison, got to his left hand and scores. He's got himself up to 6 points. That time, Chi called for a foul.
Well, that's one guy that's going to be difficult to score over the top of. And no matter, despite your length and your athleticism, she did a good job there of staying straight up. But Dieng's ability to get right to the point of that contest just got Chi's hands involved at the end and got himself to the free throw line.
We saw in the first game, Leon, and you mentioned that Chi got himself into early foul trouble. In the second game, not so much. He looked like he'd made some adjustments. Will teams, knowing how big and how much of a presence he is, will teams take it at him early, do you think? Try and draw a couple of those early fouls?
Oh, I think so. That'll be the scout for sure. You got to go at the body of the shot blocker and put him under pressure, put the officials under pressure, see if he can draw those early fouls. But he's a very good positional defender. Does a good job of moving his feet, has a high basketball IQ, and stays pretty still and pretty vertical. And I think he's not going. I don't expect him to have too many of those issues that we've seen other bigs have. Oh my goodness!
Cam Glidden. His first points in the NBL Blitz, with the shot clock ticking down in the background. Welcome. The Phoenix take the lead, 33-32. Dieng, all class, scores over the top of Chi.
And he's smooth, isn't he? Dieng, just he's not out of control, not sped up, just he looks very comfortable making plays.
The next stars are so exciting, Liam, for this season. We saw Tom Digbo last night play some really big minutes for Brisbane. We're seeing Dieng today. We'll see another next star in action later on tonight for Melbourne. And of course, Justinian Jessup was sensational as Adnam throws it up for Chi.
Beautiful pass from Kyle Adnam. Just read the defense, knew he had Chi as the roll man and set it up for him to finish at the rim. You're right. I mean, every game it feels like there is some young, exciting, talented NBA prospect out there ready to strut his stuff.
And you can see why agents all around the world are steering their youngsters to the Next Stars program, because look how successful it's been.
For sure. And you're right, Digbo put on a show last night and just teased his outstanding potential, and looking forward to getting a look at Ariel Huck-Porty in the second leg tonight. Oh,
Besson, nice drive. He's been really proactive when he's been on the floor tonight. Hugo Besson, 6 points, 3 of 6 shooting.
He only played limited minutes on Thursday, Besson, as Martin and Seaver got going and got the Breakers back into the game. But he's looking good tonight.
Off the inbound. Chi trying to bang in on Yanni Wetzel. Gets the whistle. Phoenix ball from the baseline. Third game of the Blitz for both teams. Phoenix have won their first game as Glidden can't knock it down. Beat Sydney first up, lost to Illawarra in a really high-scoring game second. And the Phoenix lost their first to Melbourne and were winners against Sydney on Thursday. Besson lost it. Mumford looks up though and only sees pink. And knocks down the deep ball. Xavier Munford showing exactly why Simon Mitchell's been chasing his signature for a couple of years.
Well, we talked about how smooth Usman Dieng has looked. This guy's smooth, Xavier Munford. And that's exactly why they picked him up. His ability to make plays with the ball, operate out of pick and roll. Mitch Creek slaps on the early drag screen there. And if the defense slips under, he'll punish you with the pull-up. If they try to fight over, he'll get his way into that mid-range, make plays. There's a bunch of guys. Peyton Seaver for the Breakers, Jalen Adams for Sydney. You saw Lamar Patterson do it time and time again last night. A lot of great playmakers around the NBL this season.
I think a point you made earlier about we've seen some really good games. It felt like the first set of games for all teams, they were happy just to kind of share the minutes and everyone get a lick of the ice cream and feel good about themselves. The last few days, Liam, I feel like the intensity's gone up, the tempo's gone up, and with that, we're seeing those names that you mentioned. They're starting to take a hold.
Yeah, we're still seeing some funky things happen with the rotations and the lineups, like Jeremiah Martin tonight. Who knows? Maybe if this was a regular season game, he'd have, stretched that hamstring out and got his way out there. But late in the game, we'll see. Like last game, Melbourne United, Dellavedova, Chris Golding, those guys didn't play in the second half, only 11 minutes. So the coach is still messing around with their rotations. Xavier Mumford didn't start this one, but out there on the floor, when they're amongst it, you're right. The intensity definitely has lifted, and as they've dusted off those early cobwebs, and everyone can sense that opening night's not too far away, and you want to make sure you start the season with a bang.
And these two teams will play each other in their first two games of the season. Saturday, December 4 and Friday, December 10. Both games being played in the Heartland. And the Breakers starting this NBL 22 season on the road. And Delaney not shy in getting his three ball away.
He'll have enjoyed that. Spoke about the matchup with Mitch Creek. He had a 30-piece on the Phoenix at one point last season, one of the three he had in NBL 21. And he enjoys going up against Mitch Creek. They matched up together against each other at Summer League 2 years ago. And, friends off the floor, but strong competitors on it.
Here he is with the rebound, pushing the issue, trying to go coast to coast. Ran into Cam Glidden, no foul called. Creek wants to back in on McDowell White, then dump it out for Munford. Chi, big rebound, and puts it back in.
Just swallowed it up, didn't he, the big fella? He is a handful on the glass at both ends of the floor.
So 3 seconds left. It'll have to be Hugo Besson. And that tip-in might have counted from Yanni Wetzel too. And at halftime, the Phoenix win the quarter, so they take a point in the Bruton Loggins Cup. They win it 20-15, and they lead 40-39.
I reckon Cal Bruton Sr. is loving you right now, Jack Everin, because he's been saying for years it should be called the Bruton Loggins Cup.
I know.
And I'm not sure how Leap and Leroy's feeling about things, but the Phoenix are feeling pretty good about that second quarter. 22-15, they were down by 6 at quarter time, and just churned up the defense a little bit there. 15 points they kept the Breakers to. Dieng's had a really good first half. 11 points, is the only breaker in double figures and has helped to tick the scoreboard over. And Xavier Munford just asserted his authority on proceedings in that second term as well. He's got 11 leading the way for the Phoenix.
For the New Zealand Breakers, they spread it around. Dieng has 11, as Liam said, and then from there, they've been scattered around with their scoring. What was better from a Phoenix point of view? By winning the quarter, what did they do differently in that second, Liam?
Yeah, I think they just tightened things up a little bit defensively. You could see them, just trying to stay in front of the ball and force the Breakers into some tougher possessions. And then offensively, I felt, Xavier Mumford really kind of was probably the difference there in that second term. There was just a calmness about the Phoenix offensively that maybe wasn't there off the tip with the combination of Adnam and Liafa running the show. And he steadied things for them. They were able to get better looks, a bit more predictable in their offense, got a few offensive rebounds and ticked the scoreboard over, put 22 on the board.
So the main break, it's the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix who lead by 1. A little later on this evening, the defending champions Melbourne United will go up against Illawarra, semi-finalists from the NBL 21 season, and then games to be played tomorrow in the NBL Blitz at the Ulverston Sports and Leisure Centre, which hosted the Bullets in Perth. Tomorrow it'll be hosting Perth and Cairns first up, and then Adelaide and Tasmania in the later game as well. A short break from us here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. Don't go too far though on KO Freebies. We're back shortly with the second half.
That one doesn't work.
I have a separate power board, I'm not sure everyone's power.
No, it's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah,
We just take that extension and put it on top of power board here. Thank you, sir.
Get ready for 2 NBL Blitz blockbusters in the GOP. New Zealand Breakers next Thursday night. Sydney Kings next Saturday night. Win Entertainment Centre. Tickets from $10, $40 for families. On sale now from Ticketmaster.
We'll race anything around here. Even the odd penny farthing.
Welcome back to the NBL Blitz on KO Freebies. It's halftime here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. It's the Phoenix who lead 40-39 after winning the second quarter in pretty impressive fashion, 22-15. Jack Heverin and Liam Santamaria alongside you. Liam, what did you take away from the Phoenix in particular in the first half?
Oh, well, it was a fun first half, wasn't it? Up and down affair. The Breakers got off to a great start. The Phoenix took care of business in that second term. They got on top on the boards, made a big difference. There you see Yanni Wetzel with a good first half, 6 and 5 for him with an assist and a steal. And for the Phoenix, Joe Chi was good, 6 and 4, 2 of those rebounds offensively, making himself a nuisance on the offensive glass. But 2 guys that came in off the bench.
Yep.
You know, it was Usman Dieng for the Breakers. He's their team leading scorer with 11, and Xavier Munford for the Phoenix, who of course will be their starting point guard when they get into the regular season. 11 points off the bench, 5 of 7 from the field. So those 2 guys have both had a good impact, and as a result, we've got ourselves a 1-point game.
Go back to last night at the NBL Blitz, and we saw the Brisbane Bullets, who went in without Nathan Sobey, have a 10-point win over the Perth Wildcats, 100-90. And Liam, I'm not sure how many times you would say before a game, Blitz or regular season, Nathan Sobey's not going to play, but Brisbane will score 100. That was a really, I thought I came away from that one feeling really good about Brisbane last night.
I don't think you're alone. Yeah, I mean, I've been talking about Brisbane as a bit of a wild card team that, you know, really wanted to get a good look at the Blitz. The main thing for me was Lamar Patterson. You know, how does he look? Because that's going to be the key to this team. I felt, you know, we know Nathan Sobey's going to be operating at an all-NBL type of level. I felt very confident that Robert Franks is legit.
He looks good.
And he is.
Yeah.
You know, you can bank him in. He's going to be good. It hasn't been blowing up the numbers per se, but you can see he just played 22 minutes last night, 11 points. He was 4 of 7 from the field. His inside-outside game is going to be really tough to guard this season. But Lamar is what takes them from being a pretty good team to, if he's operating at a really high level, to being a contender. And he looks really good. Stuff in the stat sheet again last night. 16 points, 6 boards, 7 assists. And that brings everyone else into the game as well, because he's such a good playmaker setting up his teammates. Drimmick getting open looks, knocking them down. Tanner Krebs getting open looks, knocking them down. Tom Digbo's impact off the bench was really good, and I thought Tyrell Harrison had a nice game last night as well. So anybody who's going to underestimate Brisbane coming into this season is making a mistake.
What about the Perth Wildcats? We know that it's been an extremely disrupted preparation to this NBL 22 season. They're 0-2 to start the NBL Blitz. Any cause for concern at all?
Well, they haven't looked good. You don't need to worry too much about the Perth Wildcats, right? They're going to be there, right? They have the infrastructure in place. Now, some of that has changed in recent times, because Trevor Gleeson, of course, has been a massive part of that over the past number of years. So that's going to take a bit of getting used to. And then you add in, it has been a seriously disrupted preparation. When you've only just met your head coach in person a day or so before, you know, the Blitz starts, you're not going to have a good tournament. That's just the fact of it. And he told me on the huddle a couple of weeks ago, he said, look, it's okay. That's how it is. We've got to deal with that. He said, the important thing to remember is we're not trying to win the Blitz. Yeah, we're trying to get that 11th championship banner hanging in the rafters there at RAC Arena. So they haven't looked like a cohesive unit so far at all. They're all still very much getting used to the new system, especially at the offensive end, which
isn't flex.
Is not flex, although we did see them hark back to a couple of sets last night that resembled some of those actions. But yeah, very much still getting used to each other, still getting a feel for the rotations and what Scott Morrison wants to put in place.
Well, I'll play again tomorrow against a team who have struggled so far in the NBL Blitz, the Cairns Taipans. So it's probably a good chance for both teams to, or for one of them certainly, to try and find a much-needed win. Adelaide and Tasmania will be the later game tomorrow. Huge opportunity for Tassie basketball fans in the Ulverston region to see the JJs up close before the start of the NBL 22 season. And we'll have both of those for you tomorrow on KO Freebies. That's a nice offensive set to start the third quarter for the Phoenix.
Really good execution. And it was a play run for Ryan Broekhoff, something we've seen from them out of, you know, the opening tip to begin the game and the second half, and he read the defense beautifully to set up Mitch Creek.
Delaney had to put it back in after the Wetzel miss. He's got 5 points in the game. Cheese Tippin missed the mark. Hugo Besson has been a big part of the Breakers playing at this increased tempo. There he is, relocated to the corner. Hugo Besson over the top of Joe Chi. Wow!
Wow, Hugo Besson saw the Chinese superstar in front of him and said, I'm going to the next level. Finishing with authority along the baseline.
That is one of the moments of the NBL Blitz. Peyton Seaver a bit slow to get up here. Oh, I can't wait for more replays of that dunk. He's just dunked over the top of a man who's 7'1".
With an enormous wingspan to boot and a renowned shot blocker.
Yep.
This is a multi-time defensive player of the year in China because he's been sending 3 or so shots away per game. And Besson just went up and over the top.
That was magnificent. So Peyton Seaver is going to be on the line here. Breakers retain possession.
So I've seen they copped a technical there.
Yeah.
The Phoenix. Seaver was trying to fight over that dribble handoff and he copped the knee. That could be really painful. That's what happened to Bryce Cotton, of course, playing against the Bullets last season and ended his campaign and got the hematoma in the thigh. Well, Seaver has bounced back. He's there in the corner, knocks down the free throw, and he looks good to go.
Breakers will be much more pleased with the way they've started this opening 90 seconds of the third quarter. Look at Delaney banging away on Mitch Creek.
Love it.
Two bulls in a paddock going head to head.
Two big, strong units pounding away on the low block.
Adnam has Pinot rolling to the basket. Liafa finds Pinot. Good to see him back on the scoreboard.
It was a good read, good play from Pinot. On the short roll, didn't have anything, kicked it out. Liafa able to put it on the deck, and they were able to get a finish.
Delaney, drive and dish for Yanni Wetzel. He's starting to have a big say in this third quarter.
You can see, we spoke about the chemistry building between Delaney and Wetzel. Wetzel is going to really enjoy playing alongside Finn Delaney in that front court for plays exactly like that. As he roams the baseline, Delaney pick and roll or dribble handoff, short roll. He makes really good decisions when he catches the ball at the free throw line. And as Wetzel's man steps up to help out, he's going to get a whole bunch of finishes right there at the rim.
Breakers out by 2. Broekhoff hasn't had too many opportunities tonight. Just his third field goal attempt. Delaney whistled up for a hold. He'll sit down and Kyron Galloway will come back in.
No, we haven't seen any minutes from the Breakers over the last couple of games. Sam Timmins.
Yeah.
Big DP was really good in their opening hit out as Creek scores. Baseline out of bounds for the Phoenix. 10-7 in 10 minutes against Melbourne United, Timmins. As you know, Wetzel, of course, sat that one out, and he hasn't had a chance to get back out there.
Handy play to have at the end of the bench for Dan Shamir. Nice drive and finish from Ousmane Dieng. Liafa from the corner, knocks down his three.
Really good ball movement from the Phoenix. There's a crispness about them offensively to begin this second half as they're getting through their stuff and finding the open man.
Simon Mitchell looks a little happier on the Phoenix bench, but they've got a Yanni Wetzel problem. He's torching his former team.
They've got a containment problem defensively at the moment, the Phoenix. Liafa giving the Breakers similar issues. He scores and collects the foul along the way, but yeah, no Joe Chi out there protecting the rim for the Phoenix right now, and as a result, the Breakers, when they get past that first line of the defense, having no trouble finishing at the cup.
Go back down to Wetzel, and why not? It's been so successful, but that time he travelled.
Might whistle for the offensive foul. Wetzel, he's just got a little extra physical with Dane Pinot down there, trying to clear the space out. But you're right, he is feeling good. He's making the most of Chi not being out there.
You can see already for the Breakers to have the say on this NBL 22 season that they want it. Yanni Wetzel's going to have to be such a crucial piece of the puzzle for them. Adnam had his shot blocked by the man we've been speaking about all day. And Besson on the move at the other end, put the ball on the floor and blew past Dane Pinot.
That is classy. He's a professional scorer, Hugo Besson. And he can just give it to you in so many different ways, and you gotta love the poise that these two young Frenchmen are playing with right now.
Rebound back out for Tarangi. Adnam has a second opportunity, made the adjustment. The Phoenix skipper puts his team back out by 2. He's into double figures on 4 of 10. Besson, who was driving on the last possession, now stepping out, knocking down the treble.
And how was the pass from Dieng? The one-hand whip pass over the defense, finding the open man in the corner.
It's been a lot of fun this third quarter. Two more for Adnam. As the lead continues to change hands at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. Adnam trying to chase around Will McDowell-White, and eventually had to foul Yanni Wetzel, fighting out of his weight division there.
And Jack, you spoke before about the importance of Yanni Wetzel for the Breakers this season. You know who else is going to be really important is Ousmane Dieng all of a sudden. And Tom Abercrombie out for 6 weeks with that oblique strain. So all of a sudden Dieng is just an extra guy that can, they're going to work their way into the season. He's going to have to play a really important role, and he's showing tonight that he's capable of doing it. Now, can he do it on a consistent basis at 18 years of age? That's going to be interesting to see. He catches in the corner there, can't hit it, but he's got a versatile skill set and playing with great poise and effectiveness tonight.
Munford has 11 points for the Phoenix. Blocked by Wetzel. This has been some sort of performance. 10 points, 6 rebounds, and now his second block shot of the game. Adnam off the inbound scores.
Meanwhile, Adnam is feeling good. He's got 14 now, Adnam, on 6 of 12 from the field.
Do you see any... Let me rephrase that. What is Kyle Adnams' role this season for the Phoenix? Is he ready for starting minutes yet, or will it still be that six-man straight off the bench type player?
Oh, I think it will be. Yeah, I mean, I think their starting lineup when everybody's healthy will be Munford, Glidden, Brokoff, and then the two bigs, Creek and Chi. And Adnam's going to play that spark plug scorer off the bench, which he did just so well last season, especially in the first half of the year.
Galloway, offensive rebound, out to Dieng, showing his versatility with the three. 16 points for the French next start. NBA scouts watching on this one, they'd be liking what they're seeing.
He's just made really good decisions. You know, the talent is clear. And, you know, the question marks coming in the season, well, how's he going to handle the physicality of a league like the NBL and the grind, the week-to-week grind of playing at this kind of level? And can he make smart decisions? You know, he wasn't particularly efficient last year in France. As he attacks down the lane here, scores right over the top of Dame Pinot. But he is giving the Phoenix fits right now in a variety of ways. Setting up his teammates, making good decisions, knocking it down from long range, and predominantly just getting right to the cup and finishing over the top. He's got a game-high 18 points at around 60% from the field, and he's showing no signs of letting up.
They don't have a matchup for it. They don't have a player on the floor at the moment capable of stopping Ousmane Dieng. Ruben Tarangi's got some bonus free throws to come his way. It's the first chance we've had to really stop and catch our breath in this third quarter.
You see, after he knocked down that free throw, Tarangi, he found Dieng immediately. Knows that he's got a bit of a job on his hands to try and shut him down. He's got the right kind of physical profile, except the length of Dieng's an issue. And here he gets the mismatch, goes to work on Smith-Milner.
Got past him and tried to involve Galloway. Missed him.
That'll be the challenge for Tarangi. Try to avoid the switches. Try to fight through those screens and stay with Dieng so you can move your feet, keep him out of the paint.
Xavier Munford wanted to back up the top. Breakers keep it alive. Nice work by Dieng to get it back to Delaney. They set up offensively. Besson into the paint. Banked it home. Breaker's not too happy with that call. To our eye, the official looked like he got that one right.
It looked like bounced off Besson's. And last, Delaney fervent in his view that it should have been Breaker's ball.
And it's going to cost him too, Finn Delaney. And I think there's been a second one issued here, Liam, to the New Zealand bench.
Well, it's not, if that's on Dan Shamir, it's not his first tee of the preseason tournament.
I actually think it may not have been on Dan.
You think Modi Mayor?
I think it might have been on Modi.
Well, has a tendency to get up and about, doesn't he?
You reckon?
Full of beans on the sideline.
Munford goes 2 of 2. And the Phoenix will have to walk to the other end of the floor, where they'll get a bonus possession with 1:49 to play before three-quarter time. They're led by 1 at the half. The lead is 2 currently. Munford late in the clock, drives. His pass was knocked out of bounds.
Good hands from Will McDowell-White. That was a great attack from Munford late in the shot clock, and he had Smith-Milner diving to the bucket. And at the last moment, Will McDowell-White able to put out the fire.
4.4 on the shot clock. Phoenix try and run a sideline play to get a decent look. He's thrown back in. Munford misses out. McDowell-White playing a two-man game with Rob Lowe. Tarangi got a piece of that over the back and it just altered the shot slightly.
It does a lot of things defensively, Tarangi, that Simon Mitchell loves and makes him tough to take off the floor. You know, just ability there. They were beat for all money, the Phoenix, and able to get up, knock it away, get a stop for his team.
Shot clock at 7 for Liafa. Rob Lowe stands tall. And now he's got that matchup of Liafa, decides to boot it to the corner. He's still there if they want him. They go back to him and Liafa has to foul.
Good job from the Breakers. You know, Liafa was battling down there and it was good scramble from the Phoenix on the rotations, but they weren't able to bump Liafa off Rob Lowe. And so the Breakers able to swing it around, find the mismatch, draw the foul.
Now Big Lowe steps out and drains the three. Now the Breakers back out by 1. .20 seconds to play before three-quarter time. Munford driving and scoring. Gives the lead back to Southeast Melbourne. 7 seconds for the Breakers. Besson. A block has been called. Phoenix are not going to be happy with that. Points are good.
Good take from Besson. Liafa thought he took the hit and should have got the call. Here we get another look at it. Oh, just a moment too late to see what kind of position he had, but Besson able to finish through the contact.
And it'll be New Zealand who lead at three-quarter time. 65-64. They turn the table on the Phoenix and look at the body language of the Breakers. They are feeling really good about themselves right now.
So they should. We spoke about it last time. A few nights ago, Jack, the Breakers, they got that win over Sydney, come from behind. Victory off the back of that 21-5 run to finish the game. These wins in the preseason are really important for the Breakers. They didn't win a game in the preseason last year, away from home, trying to, get things happening as they began their long stretch in Australia, and that momentum that form carried over into the regular season. They got a really bad call in their opening game of the season. Lamar Patterson in Adelaide.
That's right, yeah.
Lost that game, and it sort of started to unravel a little bit from there. So they are determined to get some wins here in the Blitz, get some winning form going into the start of the regular season, and try to get something happening before they go home and play in front of their fans.
The French connection has been something to behold tonight for the Breakers. Hugo Besson, 16 points on 7 of 13. Ousmane Dieng, 18 points on 7 of 13, has 6 rebounds as well. We're talking about two youngsters who are both under the age of 21 who have taken over this game.
They've been outstanding. You know, we spoke about Tom Abercrombie's absence, and that opens up not just minutes, but an opportunity, but actually some responsibility. Can you come in now and be, you know, an important part of the rotation on a winning team? And these two young Frenchmen have done that beautifully tonight, been really, really impressive. Now, the Phoenix, they've got some work to do defensively in terms of what they've allowed these guys to be able to get done, but they combined for 34 points here, and both of them really big in that third quarter as the Breakers able to work their way back into the lead.
So they're the leading scorers for New Zealand. Yanni Wetzel has 10 points together with 6 rebounds. For the Phoenix, Xavier Munford, 15 points. Kyle Adnam had a really good third quarter. He's up to 14 now to go with his 4 rebounds and 2 assists. They're the only 2 players, as well as Mitch Creek in double figures with 10 points. What'd you take away from the third?
Well, I think we just spoke about it. For me, it was the French connection. Dieng and Besson. No Jeremiah Martin as well tonight, so he's been giving them a lot in the first couple of games in terms of penetrating and attacking the rim. And these two guys have filled that gap beautifully so far.
Only 1 game left in the Blitz for both teams after this, so they're playing to win. Munford has Chi rolling to the cup. The big man did so well to control his feet and control the ball.
Oh, the hands. You're right, the balance and then the hands. That was a tough pass to catch. So to catch it, not travel, get it up and over the front of the rim. Really nicely done.
Tarangi called for a foul. We'll push in the back of Lowe. I don't think you can, this is not normally a word that you associate with athletes who are 7'1", but Joe Chi's graceful. He really is. He's got lovely feet. Besson, 3 more.
Well, it's a word you could use to describe this young man.
Yeah.
Especially at the offensive end with the ball in his hand, and can score in so many different ways. And he is racking up the numbers tonight. 19 points, the game leading scorer.
And a win on the defensive end of the floor there too for the Breakers. Smith Milner a little out of control. (69-66). Seaver trying to create through it. Wetzel, who was a little short of the rim. Now Seaver relocates to the corner off the front of the iron. And Munford walks it up the floor himself. It rattles out. Phoenix retain possession. Jump shot of Xavier Munford looks really, really nice.
Oh, he's uber confident too, isn't he? Early in the shot clock, trying to stamp his authority on this fourth quarter.
Chi goes to the left hand that time.
We haven't seen a lot of Chi's work with his back to the basket, operating in the low block. I chatted with Simon Mitchell yesterday. He said we dumped it into him at practice today, and he looked really good down there.
What's that response from Kyron Galloway? A couple of times in the NBL Blitz, we've seen him get out beyond the 3-point line and knock one down. And Munford drives and scores with 1 to come.
He's getting aggressive, isn't he, Munford? Aggressive from the perimeter, the previous possession, and they're putting the Jets on. And he knows that, yeah, okay, I moved the ball around, and Kyle Adnam got going, and got everyone else some shots throughout the first 3 quarters, but when the fourth quarter of a close game comes around, these guys want me to be aggressive, make plays, help them tick the scoreboard over and get over the line, and he's starting to do that here tonight.
Well, that's what Kiefer Sykes was doing last year, and that's what John Robertson was doing the season before. So the template's kind of there for that player within this Phoenix lineup, isn't it? Seaver's long. Seven and a half minutes to play. Munford crossing over on Bark. That's out of bounds. Melbourne and Illawarra up next here at the NBL Blitz. That game's starting in about 45 minutes from now. All live and free on KO Freebies. There's that length of Joe Chi. Dieng kept going. Tarangi came across with a help D.
And again, Joe Chi avoiding the foul, great verticality, knows how tall he is, know how high his standing reach is, doesn't do anything silly. And then again, Tarangi putting the fire out at the rim.
Dieng, not that time though. Phoenix with a chance to take the lead back on this possession. Here's the skipper. Big knockdown three for Kyle Adnam.
Good hit from Adnam, and we spoke about it earlier, the attack from Tarangi. He's aggressive, got his head down, making plays, the playmaking on display right there.
They're out by 2 and Adnam has 17 points. Seaver misses, Wetzel on the follow.
Good attack from Seaver. Didn't finish, but he engaged the shot blocker, allowed Wetzel to be open for the putback.
Both teams trading buckets and trading the lead at the same time. Here's Munford, 20 points. The lead back Southeast Melbourne's way. A Bark is a spot-up shooter. Phoenix will play their last game next Sunday against Melbourne United.
So tough there, Kyle Adnam. He's so tough in the mid-range. Saw the 1 foot runner in that third quarter. And there again, just off the 2 feet, just has a beautiful touch. And he puts the Phoenix 4 points ahead.
5:40 to play. A couple of those highlights that we've seen from this last quarter. It's been entertaining. Adnam, that time, draining the 3. In the very next Southeast Melbourne possession, he knocked down that little floater, as you mentioned, Liam. So the Phoenix play Melbourne next Sunday at Parkville. And then for the New Zealand Breakers, a little something different. They played their first 3 games here at the Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre. They'll go to Illawarra and play the Hawks on Thursday of next week at the Wynn Entertainment Centre.
That'll be fun. And the doors are open. The Hawkheads are going to be in the building. nblblitz.com.au to get your tickets. And that'll be fun. 2 teams loaded with talent. The Hawks, we're going to get another good look at them later tonight. But they look good in their first hit out that win over Southeast Melbourne.
They look really good. They're going to be pretty hard to stop, I think. Illawarra, if they're like everyone, if they stay fit, they stay healthy. Maybe the one that, and again, just from that one outing, Xavier Rathan-Mays really looks like he is just this perfect piece for what they need.
What he put on display in that first game was exactly what they brought him in for, and the challenge will be to be able to do that night in, night out.
Seaver takes it at Creek. Finds the bottom of the net.
Good execution from the Breakers out of the huddle. Exactly what Dan Shamir drew up. Seaver and Wetzel came out and executed.
And Munford got away from Galloway. Did everything but finish. McDowell White, who started the game in a flurry with a couple of threes. Hasn't scored since then, though. Besson. That's now 22 points and his third treble of the game.
Well, he's having a big game, and McDowell White, he just makes good decisions. McDowell White, they were open looks that he knocked down early, and he's been setting up his teammates ever since.
Shot clock at 7. We go back to Adnam and to shoot over the long arms of Galloway. There's Dane Pinot shining the glass. Still fighting hard for it. Back out for Creek. Extra pass has Adnam. There's Dane Pinot once more. That's what they missed last season, the Phoenix. And Mitch Creek goes bang.
Oh, they will be loving that on the Phoenix bench. Look at them all up off their seats. Dane Pinot, they know how much hard work it was for him rehabilitating last season. Back out there, 2 offensive rebounds in winning time.
And just did enough defensively there not to give away the foul. Hugo Besson a little slow to get up. So the Phoenix forced that ball. Munford has Pinot on the trail. Does the work and gets rewarded.
Good run from Pinot and beautifully set up by Xavier Munford. And he has just been terrific in this fourth quarter, getting aggressive, putting it on the deck, attacking the rim, and they're punishing the defense by setting up the big.
Pinot to the free throw line. Go back 2 seasons ago, as we mentioned, Liam, when he was runner-up in the most improved player, as he can't make the extra. In that season, he was the only player to have 20 rebounds in a game, and it was against New Zealand, round 14, 2 years ago. We saw just a little sample of how important he is on the offensive glass.
At that point in time, he was just on a tear, wasn't he? He had 39 rebounds over the course of 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
And the injuries last season, he was barely able to take the floor, and they're going to welcome him back into the fold.
Tarangi had a hand on it. He looked through otherwise. Besson lays it up with the left hand. 1 on 3. That didn't stop Hugo Besson. 24 points. Leading scorer in the game. 2 more for Kyle Adnam at the other end. He's got 21 now. A couple of key players standing up for both teams in this last quarter. There's another one. Finn Delaney.
Talented offensive players trading blows. Besson and Delaney for the Breakers. Adnam with the response down the other end. It's a 1-point game.
A timeout with 2.5 minutes remaining. Phoenix lead it by 1. And in this particular quarter, Liam, both teams have had no issue putting the ball in the basket.
Well, the 2 Frenchmen really have been the story of the night for me, Besson and Dieng. Wetzel's been big. Siva has taken a little bit of a back seat in terms of putting points on the board, but he's helped run the show. And Pinot, of course, having a bit of an impact on the glass. Xavier Munford has had a big 4th term, but Besson with 24, Dieng with 18, and 8 boards leading the way for the Breakers. A double-double for Yanni Wetzel so far. I find it interesting that Simon Mitchell, he brought Xavier Munford out of the game before. He didn't play him during overtime at all against Illawarra the other night. I find it interesting. This is a guy that, he's going to be a key closer for them over the course of the season. You'd want to give him an opportunity to kind of do that here in the preseason. Brought him out, a moment's rest. Right now, he's back out there.
That might resemble something more of a closing lineup for Melbourne. Now, what twist have we got left in this one? It's the NBL Blitz, but it's been played at a really high intensity all day long. Adnam. Munford sees that he's guarded by Yanni Wetzel, who blocked the shot and then follows up after that in the open court. New Zealand possession.
Shot clock expiring in the background. The Breakers didn't ever gain full possession. The refs, the Phoenix thought maybe that was a controlled tip from Wetzel, tapping it forward. The ref said no, and the Breakers take it away.
Yanni Wetzel's had a big, big day. Finish off from McDowell White. Breakers back in front by 1. Hugo Besson just finding out that trying to get into a wrestle with Mitch Creek's not an easy thing to do.
He's working hard defensively.
Yeah.
Besson, you saw that the block from Wetzel, that previous possession on Mumford. Got to give Besson some credit on that play as well. Just dug in enough to make things tough for Mumford. Force him to have to finish over the top. And they're wrestling with Mitch Creek, but that foul sees him taken out of the game.
That's a blow for the Breakers. He'll sit down with 24 points, and a huge afternoon for him as he fouls out. Creek stepping confidently into the 3 off the front of the iron. Long rebound for Ousmane Dieng. So we tick down to a minute left. Wetzel drives at Joe Chi, who blocks the shot out of play.
Big defensive play from Chi. Wetzel with the quick first step. Thought he was by the towering Chinese presence around the rim, but Chi, with his length and timing, able to send it away.
He came to the NBL with the reputation of being a shot blocker. He is as advertised. Joe Chi. A timeout with 1:13 remaining. Now that you've had a couple of games to see Chi live, Liam, thoughts?
Oh, he's going to be huge.
He is huge.
And he's going to be really effective over the course of this NBL season. 10 and 7 tonight with that block as well. Just 16 minutes as well. When they fully unleashed him for 35 minutes, big double-double, a couple of blocks, and he's a fantastic pickup in so many different ways. The interest from overseas in him and the league as a result of him being here, of course, the further kind of globalization of the NBL, he's going to be a big part of that this season. But just in terms of impact for the Phoenix, who are well and truly in win a title now mode, despite it only being their 3rd season of existence, so they should be, the way they've progressed over the last couple of years. I think he's going to be a really important big piece for them throughout this year.
1 point lead in New Zealand. It'll be their ball from the baseline. 5 on the clock. McDowell White, as it winds down, got into the lane, got his floater away. Chi wrestles control. Adnam's had such a productive second half. Has 21 points. Now Creek, who they always go to in the clutch, and he always delivers.
And that's the kind of physicality we're talking about when it comes to Ousmane Dieng. He's going to need to get used to that. Creek just put his big biceps and deltoids into him along the baseline there. Got the space required for the finish over the top.
Wetzel's tip in goes. Breakers back in front. Phoenix call a timeout. Southeast Melbourne supporters watching this one, they probably shed a tear when Yanni Wetzel decided to leave the club and go to New Zealand. They're shedding more tears tonight.
Well, it means a lot to the Breakers for sure. The Phoenix, again, they're still playing around with their rotations. They got their import to come in. I'm pretty sure he arrives in the country tomorrow.
Okay.
Could be right to play in that matchup against Melbourne United. Get out there for a couple of minutes. Ryan Brokoff's not getting a whole heap of minutes tonight, just 14 for him, and he's not out there right now in crunch time as Simon Mitchell has a look at a few different lineups. But for the Breakers, we've spoke about it. It's really important. Matt Walsh getting up and about in the stands.
Saw that.
He's yelling, "Stop the count!" with 30 seconds to go and a 1-point lead as they try to get their second win in a row.
New Zealand's leading scorer, Hugo Besson, is fouled out. Osman Dieng has 18. Yanni Wetzel, 14 and 11 with 3 block shots too. Still plenty of time here. And with the Phoenix in possession. Cam Glidden going to finish this game. His return to the Phoenix lineup tonight. Only seen him in the 8.5 minutes. He's out there to finish off. Adnam blocked again. Wetzel, his 4th block. Chi tried to clean it up and couldn't get it to go from close range. They had to foul and they foul Wetzel.
Big, strong work from Wetzel underneath. Geez, I thought he was going to finish over the top. Wasn't able to get it done, and Wetzel standing up to the moment, clearing it for the Breakers.
Phoenix will need to foul again. All play for the steal. Joe Chi, the official, saying that he leaned well over the line.
Wow, so
Okay.
that'll foul him out.
So that called a lot.
Big call. 12 seconds left. Defending the inbounds and just leaned his way over it.
Free throws for Finn Delaney. The officials just chat this one through.
Yes, Dane Pinot just using every little bit of his extra time allotted to check in for Chi, who fouled out. Creek sees the funny side. So they're over the limit, the Phoenix. They're going to need to try to get a steal and then foul without giving up an unsportsmanlike. Stop the clock. Put some pressure on the Breakers to ice it from the free throw line.
Clock sits at 13 seconds.
That's a bad pass.
Yanni Wetzel makes a really interesting decision, and the Phoenix with 7 seconds to work with. It's been sloppy. Creek steps out for 3. Got it! Mitch Creek knocks down the treble.
Goodness me. Has a few words to say as well, Mitch Creek.
What drama to end this one. The Phoenix find themselves up 1 with a second to play.
Absolute brain explosion from Yanni Wetzel. Creek with the go-ahead bucket. Can't believe he hoisted it down the floor. Wetzel, immediate turnover. Creek on the attack, almost gave up the offensive foul. Good poise from Adnam. Knew there was enough time remaining. Didn't need to hoist it over a hand as he fell away on the baseline. Whipped it back to Creek, who was... That's a tough shot to make as he comes back out towards the arc. His momentum going back towards halfway. Steadied the ship. Knocked it down. Put his team up 1.
That pass off the inbound, it's staggering from Yanni Wetzel, isn't it?
All they needed to do was get it in, the Breakers. The Phoenix were going to foul, they weren't going to mess around with it. There was time enough maybe to get a little trap, but
Matt Walsh's his body language has clearly changed.
yeah, no, he's pretty keen for the count to continue at this point.
Yep.
And a chance here remaining for the Breakers. Catch and shoot. Try to get a win on the buzzer.
Can they conjure up a miracle? McDowell White to inbound. Delaney.
Oh!
Frank! You've got to be kidding me! Finn Delaney with less than a second changed the shot midair, banked it home. Breakers win.
The double clutch walk-off game winner off the board. Not something you see every day from Finn Delaney. The Breakers down 1 second to play, and Delaney somehow managed to get that up and in.
What an extraordinary last 30 seconds of this game. Breakers win it 92-90. The Phoenix have had their hearts broken. They can see the funny side of it as well. A game winner from Finn Diesel gets it done for New Zealand.
Well,
they're 2-1 in the Blitz.
And this is what they need. They need some things to feel good about. They need some wins on the board, momentum going into the regular season in order to have themselves a good year with that extended time away. Here we get another look at it. The double clutch from Delaney with the clock expiring off the glass.
Remarkable, remarkable stuff. And as you rightly point out, Liam, the best thing here with New Zealand, because of the stretch they're going to have at the start of the season on the road, they're smiling. They're feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
Well, for sure. There's a lot to feel good about from that game. We sung the praises of Usman Dieng and Hugo Besson all night. Yanni Wetzel had a big game against his former team, but the relief on his face after the horrible turnover in the last few seconds there. Mitch Creek with the go-ahead bucket, and then Finn Delaney with the answer. We highlighted that matchup throughout the night. They exchanged big blows down the stretch, and the Breakers get the win.
So here's some of the highlights from across the afternoon. Final score 92-90 in a last quarter that was tied at 26 each. Mitch Creek and the Phoenix, well, they thought they'd locked it away. He stepped out and delivered a stone-cold blow to the Breakers. But Finn Delaney had a little something extra before this game expired. Give me a player from each team, Liam, who you want to highlight for their efforts today.
Well, I'm going to give you two for the Breakers because they were both really, really impressive, Besson and Dieng. Besson with 24 points, 10 of 18 from the field. And Usman Dieng, 18 points, 9 rebounds. And he just made really smart, poised plays, put his versatile skill set on display and flashed his potential. Yanni Wetzel was also really strong, so let's throw a third name in there as well. But for the Phoenix, well, geez, they will feel like that one got away. Munford, I thought, was good down the stretch. Kyle Adnam again, really nice, 21 points for him, and a near double-double for Joe Chi, 10 and 9 with a couple of blocks. But that's the go-ahead bucket from Creek. He's up and about, started barking at the Breakers, and then Finn Delaney with a shot that he will remember forever.
And so will we. We're going to take a short break from the Melbourne Sports at Aquatic Centre. Coming up in 20 minutes' time on KO Freebies, it'll be Melbourne United and the Illawarra Hawks doing battle. Don't go too far. We'll see you shortly at the NBL Blitz.